last Connnect, ACPI and JDK seem to be the most exciting additions to the deliverables and demonstrations. Andrea, can you tell us a little bit more about ACPI?
Yes, at last Connnect we were demonstrating UEFI and virtualization, and at this Connnect we have added ACPI. So we have ported the ACPI core to Linux, we have enabled that on ARM, we have created the first very important tables and drivers, and we have feature parity on ARM v7 and ARM v8 on the 64-bit architecture. It is running, we are adding the bus drivers, and we had a very interesting session the other day showing exactly in a tutorial how to add ACPI driver support to the ARM drivers that are already enabled for the device tree. And this is very important as the ARM Linux community is very fond on device tree, and adding ACPI by no means shall create any regression or any hiccups in the ARM community. And last but not least, in the server market, it's very important that we report immediately if there are hardware errors. So we're working on RAS framework, RAS daemon, and the ACPI support to detect hardware errors through the ACPI tables. And we already have a prototype running, and it will be shown also at the Friday, the demo session. So it's really impressive progress.
What about OpenJDK? Can you tell us a little bit more about that as well?
That's awesome. That's a really encouraging progress. This is based on a very strong cooperation with Red Hat. We have two very strong experts in our team, and Ed Neville, Andy Johnson, and two extremely strong experts on Red Hat side, Andrew Haley, Andy Dean, and the four guys together are doing an awesome job. Red Hat managed to upstream their code, publish it, and we have integrated it immediately on the ARM foundation model, so we already have a first version of OpenJDK 8 running on the foundation model on the ARM 64-bit emulator. It's based now on the template interpreter done by Red Hat, and the C1 hotspot compiler, the C1, is already working. And we have integrated all these with our Linaro build system. We are adding thousands of test compliance and performance tests in Lava. And there's already an interesting demo running. For geeks and engineers, it's quite interesting. It is showing Sinclair Spectrum game running on a Z80 emulator, which is, well, history now. But this emulator is written in Java, so it's running on the Java virtual machine, and it's using our OpenJDK C1 compiler. So it's showing that the C1 work integrated on ARM 64-bit is already pretty advanced. And well, this is running then on the ARM emulator, so it's 3 levels of emulation. And well, the engineers are really excited by the progress, and again, this will be available in the demo session on Friday.
I'm excited to see the demos that we're going to be not only out of the leg group, but with John being there, and then we've got about 17 demos for Friday, so wow. It's going to be a fun time. But speaking of the engineers on leg's only been around not quite a year.
No, it started in beginning of November.
So how many engineers do you have on board now as part of the leg group?
Now we are almost 30 engineers. We have ramped up quickly, mainly from January onward, and since April, more or less, we have reached almost a stable size, and all the engineers are extremely strong, working well together. Even though, of course, as Linaro, they're all scattered around the world, but they're really working closely together. The technical leaders are extremely strong, and all the sub-teams are close and working very well. So.
Andrea, thank you so much for stopping by to talk to me today, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of our enterprise group.
Thank you.